Getting engaged is like is the first hill of the roller coaster. And you hear those clickers, the loud sound, it's really violent metal, chunk, and you go, what's going on here, you know? Boy, this thing's really goes high. And then you go over the top. The wedding is at the top. You go over the top is the wedding, and then you're just screaming.
Well, even if you make plans, you never think you're really ready for marriage.
No, it's like any growth. You can't be ready for it because it's growth. It's going to be new. It's going to be new. You're going to have a new life. You're going to be a new person.
My name is Cecilia, and life before I met Marques was pretty straightforward. Lots of work, lots of travel, just concentrating on moving my career forward, and he came along at the perfect time.
My name is Marques T. Owens, and before I met Cecillia, I was working a lot, focused on my goals, and I knew I wanted to be in a serious, committed relationship, but the relationships that I had before weren't really my cup of tea. And when I met Cecillia, I just realized how easy a relationship is supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Everything look like it's supposed to be.
To put it short, life before Cecillia. I don't know how I did it. What initially attracted me to Cecillia was her beautiful, undeniable smile. And in passing, I said, "You have a nice smile," not knowing that it would get her attention and have her respond to me and us continuing to build our relationship. Her personality was just amazing. She was beautiful inside and outside. She was positive. She didn't like drama. Doesn't even like watching it on TV, which I think is ludicrous.
I think we had a lot of similarities, as well as a lot of things that were different about one another. He's very creative, whereas I am very analytical and detail-oriented and numbers-oriented, but we complement each other quite well.
They say opposites attract.
I think overall, our core values are aligned.
There's not been any major fights or anything. Sometimes she irks me, and sometimes I irk her, but hey, if that wouldn't be a relationship if that didn't happen, right? But she's great.
I think we just make a really good couple.
My first impressions when I met Cecillia, besides the fact that she was different, not besides the fact, she was different than a lot of the other women that I've dated or come across. She was a corporate woman. And I don't know if she knew how to turn off being a corporate woman.
He was a little hesitant to elaborate on answering certain questions, and he was very straight to the point and very frank about things. But as time progressed, he opened up a little bit more, and we got to a very good comfort level.
One of my friends, they will remain nameless, they called her Mary Poppins. They said, "She's just so wholesome." And I wasn't used to that. I have to admit, she was just conservative, and I will admit she had a lot of qualities that I needed, not necessarily what I thought I wanted, but I realized that if I'm gonna marry someone, that it should be someone like Cecillia, and here we are. My first date or job interview with Cecillia was interesting. I was at Kitchen 24 in Hollywood. Are you rolling your eyes?
Yes. It was the best first date of his life.
Let her tell it. It was the best job interview I had. I had never been on a date that was so serious before.
Because I wanted to make sure that he was the real deal. I didn't want to waste any time.
Yeah, but you used to, you get a drink, you loosen her up a little bit, she started acting fun, she was corporate the whole way.
The questions weren't just, "Hey, so what are you into?" No,
What's your 5-year plan? what are your goals and ambitions in life?
I started saying my 5-year goals. So, working with my business and doing this and doing that.
She's like, marriage? Kids? Yes. I was like, oh yeah, that too.
I wanted to take a drink, but when I found out she didn't drink, I didn't want to be the only one drinking.
I was like, I ain't about to look like the alcohol consumer. So I tried to do the date sober.
I persevered and, I made it through.
He was very nervous, to be honest. He was very nervous and his eyes were just everywhere. It was almost as if he did not want to make eye contact with me.
I'm just, what?
Next date, I was like, I'm gonna try to do this again on the sober tip.
It was challenging.
Third day, bro, it got too strenuous, so I had to pop that Patron shot, little Cadillac margarita. Yeah. She's just so serious, man.
I was serious then.
I really had to work for it.
The very first time Marques met my family, it was at my birthday. I have birthday dinner every year at my house. And he comes to the door and he rings the doorbell and he has a bouquet of roses in his hand. So he's kind of, presenting the roses. And my mother answers the door and says, I don't know you, and slams the door in his face. Everyone laughs hysterically. But once he actually got past my mother and to the threshold of the home, everyone accepted him and loves him.
It took me a while. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna introduce mom yet, cause she gonna get attached and I don't know what's gonna, But when she first met her, she's, oh my gosh, she's this, that, and the other. She got 1,000 points. Oh, she got 10,000 more for this and that, and my mom loved her. When my dad met her for the first time, he said, boy, I think you got one right here. My friends just, they liked her as well. And they said, oh, she's so nice. There was not one person who said anything negative about her.
So tell us about the dating period. Are there any highlights that you want to talk about?
It was all a highlight. the dating period was all a highlight, right?
Yes.
But was there a highlight to the highlight to the highlight? I think going to the Oscars was like, boom.
Yes, I would agree. Yeah. That was definitely one of the highlights. Also, we've had a lot of really great trips together. China was a highlight even before he proposed. It was a great trip.
Our first trip, though?
That was a highlight, too.
It was a highlight. She had to get used to me being a photographer in a foreign place because everything I saw that I wanted to take home, gotta take it home. I don't know if I'm coming back here, so I wanted to tell the story, and she wasn't used to that. She'd be high-tailing it. She used to go in with her cousins and stuff, so.
And he had to get used to me being an experienced traveler and wanting to get from point A to point B without taking 1,000
see, that's the point. There was a point A. There was no plan point B. Oh, let's just go walk around. I was like, baby, we gonna have to plan some destinations so I know if you're close where I can rest. But no, this whole journey, at first I didn't know where it was going. At a certain point I did, and I'm glad I stayed on that path, and I'm glad she joined me, and the rest of the journey is forever. There were many moments where I knew she was the one, but I was not going to tell her she was the one yet. I waited 3 years because I wanted to make sure the one I thought she was really the one that was real. In that time period, she was consistently the same. She was positive, she was supportive, she was there for me, she loved me, she cared for me as I am. And one of the things that I know for sure was when I thought, wow, she could be all I ever wanted it was something simple. I was doing some Doritos commercials and she said, oh, that sounds interesting, and she's in the numbers. I didn't think she had any creative ideas, to be honest. And so she told me, she said, oh, I got an idea. I'm like, okay, let me just listen, just to be nice. So I said, well, okay. And so she volunteered to executive produce the commercial.
and paid for it. I'm like, dang, she paid for me to do a commercial for it. I said, you know what, this girl right here might be one.
I knew Marques was the one on my 32nd birthday, which was my second birthday with us together. And everyone was having a good time, and then suddenly all of the plumbing starts backing up into the kitchen sink and out of the connections to the washing machine. So there's puddles of water accumulating on my kitchen floor, and it's backing up from the restroom, so it's not lovely. And there Marques is, and he's grabbing towels and he's trying to get everything wrapped up. And I walk into the kitchen and I'm about to start helping him, and he looks at me and says, "No, babe, I got this. Go tend to your guests." And that's when I knew. He had my back, and I knew. I just knew from that point.
The proposal was 2 years in the making. Once she told me that her classmates were going on a trip to China and she asked if I wanted to go, I was like in my head, like, yes, that's where it's gonna happen. But nonchalant to her, like, I guess we can go to China, I guess. But from there on out was, how was I gonna do it? You know, foreign place, like, I can't just do it regular. I gotta have 3 camera angles. There's no other way to do it. And I was like, I can't depend on the tourists to be there. They might not speak the same language. I asked her ahead of time, when are we going to the Great Wall? Who's gonna be there? Is it gonna be just us? Is it gonna be your classmates? She said, oh, you know, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Why is it such a big deal? And I'm like, it's a big deal. Like, and I flipped out like, I can't, because she doesn't know that I'm going to propose, so I got to bring it together.
I was not expecting him to propose when he proposed.
I remember the day before I was going to propose, or 2 days before I was going to propose. We were in China, and we were in the hotel, and I said, babe, what's the Wi-Fi password? She said, the last name and the room number. And I said, oh, Owens? She said, when did you propose? I'm like, oh my God, this girl. I was just like, that's gonna make me not do it. You know, I was just, I don't know.
I didn't think he would bring a ring to China. Who brings a ring to China?
Then we get out there, oh yeah, the plans changed again. We're not gonna go to the Great Wall on this day. We're gonna go to the Great Wall on this day. And I'm like, oh my God, another obstacle.
The morning of the proposal, we got up, we went to breakfast, we kind of were rushing a little bit.
Got a new GoPro, trying to learn how to work with that and the remotes, and try to figure a way to get one on her and try to make it seem inconspicuous.
Our tour guide was there to pick us up. We got in the car, and about an hour into the drive, he looks up and goes, I forgot the camera. And I thought he was joking, so I said, are you serious? He says, yes, I forgot the camera. I don't have the camera.
Which was gonna videotape everything in a wide shot.
But he played it real cool. So he just looks at me and he goes, do you think we really need it? Like, will you be okay if we don't have the nice professional shots? And he put it all on me. He put the decision on me. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about it. And at first I say, well, maybe we don't need it. And then he goes, well, aren't you gonna be a little upset if we don't have it? And so I think, okay, yes, I will be a little disappointed. Fine, let's go back and get the camera.
Thank God she said yes, because I couldn't have lived with myself.
But even after I had made the decision and we informed both the driver and the tour guide, I still was having second thoughts, but by that time we were already off the freeway. The tour guide and the driver had already paid the toll to get off of the freeway. We get to the hotel, he goes upstairs, gets the camera, comes back downstairs. We all get back into the car, and the tour guide turns to him and says, do you have everything? So we kind of made light of the situation. A 2-hour trip turned into 4 hours. So by the time we got there, it was much warmer, the sun was shining, the skies were blue. It was perfection.
The fact that we've been on trips before, she was used to me taking pictures.
He set up the tripod, asked me to stand in, and then came around and started narrating, which is quite normal for him. He's a storyteller. So whenever we go somewhere, he likes to narrate to the camera so that he has a nice catalog or a nice account of what we've done while we've traveled. So he's narrating to the camera, and he mentions that he should have got a wider angle, and he goes into his camera bag. So my thought is that he's going to get another piece for the camera. And so I'm just off in La La Land, you know, admiring the Great Wall. And in actuality, he actually goes into his bag and he pulls out the ring box and he gets down on one knee and he asks me to marry him. And I was completely caught off guard, completely speechless. I couldn't even speak, so all I did was nod. And everyone was thrilled beyond belief. My sister had already started kicking into gear with planning the wedding, and we hadn't even arrived back in LA yet. I'm happy we went back for the camera.
Thank you. She would have been mad if I didn't make her go, is what she told me. And she's happy. She's always been happy, but she's happier, and it's just been easy going.
Everyone was very excited, very ecstatic to welcome Marques to the family. When we got engaged, it was actually on November the 3rd in California. I thought, okay, it would be cool if we could get married on the 3rd of October or November or December, because I wanted it to be at least a year out from the proposal. And so we looked at a calendar and we saw that 10/3 was on a Saturday. And we thought, okay, great, let's start planning around 10/3. But a very good friend of mine who is near and dear to me, she had already committed to a wedding on that date. So we looked back at the calendar and realized...
Let me tell you something. You know what "we" means nowadays? It means her, but she want to add me into it.
Back at the calendar and realized that the following Saturday was 10/10, and it just had a really, really good ring to it. I mean, 10/10. You really can't forget that number. It's easy to remember. It's a double number, so I thought it was just a great option for us.
And something funny, I told my parents, it's either gonna be 10/3 or now possibly 10/10. My mom said, 10/10, that's a good number. In marriage encounter, they told us 10/10 is a good day to get married, right? I told my dad, they're divorced for maybe 10 years, I don't know. But I told my dad October 3rd or 10/10. Oh, 10/10, in marriage encounter, they said that's a good day to get married. Well, obviously they didn't get married in 10/10. Even though I'm gonna chip off the old block, you know, I plan to, you know, keep it going forever, right?
Yes.
10/10.
10/10.
I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad.
10/10. I expect married life to be fun, a good continuation of the positive relationship that we've built so far. I know that we will have a few speed bumps, a few roadblocks along the way, but I look forward to knowing that I have a strong man by my side who compliments me and supports me.
I gotta stay in the gym. I gotta stay strong. At least physically, right?
Physically, mentally, spiritually.
Sometimes I can't tell. I expect to be with the same person for the rest of my life, but I expect it to be a journey that we'll take together and have that lifetime teammate to pass the ball back to. I don't know, just never have to worry about looking for someone else again, you know?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to stability and the calm that Marques brings to me. And I'm also looking forward to parenthood.
I want to parent. The calm that I bring to her, I think it's the other way around. I don't know. Sometimes I could get a little Andre from Empire. No, not that bad. But I am very high-strung, and she knows how to just, okay, babe, you know, just it'll be okay, you know. And that's what I need sometimes. And then an hour or so, or the next day, I'm like, dang, she just kept it cool, and I was acting a fool.
It'll be fun. It'll be a good journey together.
Right. I'm excited about parenthood and everything that comes with that. Even though there's going to be ups and downs, there's always a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Exactly. I'm excited about seeing little mini-me's and mini-you's running around and...
Watch Austin Powers.
Not like that.
Okay.
But I'm just excited. I'm excited about what life has to offer for us. It feels like this is the very beginning and we get to start this journey together. So fun times. We want to thank you for your love, your support, and your time. Thank you so much for being here to celebrate the beginning of our journey together. We're very excited to start this portion of our lives together, and we really appreciate you for being you and for being here tonight. 10-10.
Go hold up 10. Thank you. She said everything, you know? See, that's why I like, love, cherish, honor, respect this woman. Because she makes my life easier. She said everything I wanted to say, and all I had to do was move my hands and translate for the people who are hearing impaired. So I hope I did all the correct sign language. Hold up. And cut.
Thank you.
If there's a question of my heart, you got it. It don't belong to anyone but you. Hey, if there's a question of my love,